100 of the best sci-fi movies, man. It's laid down by me, your boy C, the host. Most of the things right here on the Paprika Podcast Network, man. Man, shout out to Refried Scenes. Always doing a great job out there. Cinnamon, still rocking. This here series, man, we're talking about what I think of the 100 best science fiction movies and how I ranked them from 100 to 1 and releasing one a day for the first 100 days of the year 2022. So let's just keep it on a rolling, man. Yesterday we talked about number 23 on the list, Back to the Future. Man, like I said, plants and payoffs. That's the entire deal of that movie. It's all about the plants and the payoffs. There is no fat. There is not a single bit of fat that can be trimmed from Back to the Future. And I wholly believe that, man. Everything serves its purpose. Bob Zemeckis killed that movie. But today is just an equally as good movie, man. Number 22 on the list, man. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And it is our highest ranking stars. This will be the last Star Trek movie we talk about because it is the best Star Trek movie, man. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Let's check out this tagline. At the end of the universe lies the beginning of vengeance. We are on a roll with taglines, man, because that one is right up there on the A+. Admiral James T. Kirk is feeling old. The prospect of accompanying his old ship, the Enterprise, on a 2-week cadet cruise is not making him feel any younger. But the trading cruise becomes a life or death struggle when Khan escapes from years of exile and captures the power of creation itself. God damn, this movie is good, man. They took an episode of I think season 2, if I remember correctly, of Star Trek, the original series, Space Seed, where these the eugenics wars that happened, these genetically engineered, modified for superiority cats try to take over the world. They barely lost. They cast them out into space, and the Enterprise happens to run into them and awakens one of them, and they awaken the leader, Khan. And then Khan tried to take over the Enterprise, and Kirk's not having any of that, so they marooned them and a member of the Enterprise who falls in love with Khan on Ceti Alpha. Was that 5? 6. Yeah. This is Ceti Alpha 6! And Admiral Kirk never bothered to check on the progress after he just fucking marooned him there. But Ceti Alpha 5 exploded, which fucked up the entire environment of Ceti Alpha 6, which made life very harsh and brutal for these genetically modified people, man. And of course, man, you're gonna be bitter after all that. After they find their way off the planet, man, it's all bets off. This movie plays a lot with age. Kirk finally starting to feel old. Shatner definitely starting to look old. A lot of playing on age and death. That's the themes of this movie: age, death, vengeance. And seeing how they weave all this into. This is where Kirk's person. This movie is what cements Kirk as the Kirk you think of when you think of James T. Kirk. Like, he's got a good run on the television show, but when you think of Kirk, the rebellious dude, Kirk, the guy who defied odds and managed to pull the victory out of the fires, it's this movie and it's Star Trek 3 that cement what that Kirk is. And this is when William Shatner is by far at his best. This is when the uniforms change from whatever bullshit that they were doing in the motion picture to these more naval-looking uniforms. We get that submarine-type battle and the Mutara Nebula at the end. This movie has a very naval feel, and they will return to that feeling again when they did Star Trek 6, especially in Star Trek 6 where they narrowed the bulkheads that they're walking through, so it has that submarine feel to it. Ricardo Montalban, man, chewing the scenery and just instantly became one of the great science fiction villains. The fact that I didn't realize for the first 15 times I watched this movie that Kirk and Khan are never face to face, which I do believe was actually just a scheduling issue, makes this movie even better. All their correspondence is done over the space waves, man, done over the communication. They are never actually face to face. The Spock sacrifice is one of the best parts of Star Trek lore. of him, knocking out Scotty or pushing Scotty or whatever. I think he gives the neck pinch to somebody. He gives the neck pinch to Bones. He puts that remember up there. That was an end credit scene before end credit scenes existed. And then that sacrifice he makes and that interplay between Kirk and Spock there with the radiation flooded compartment there. You'll flood the whole compartment. It's just one of the most beautifully written scenes. They tried to ape that and mimic it in Star Trek Into Darkness, but because Zachary Quinto and Chris Pine didn't have those years, those decades of chemistry behind them, it didn't work. It fell completely flat. Here, it absolutely works. Everything in this movie works, to be honest. It's paced perfectly. This is the introduction of the Kobayashi Maru and how you find out that Kirk cheated the system and how he has been cheating life ever since. And because he's been cheating life a lot, he doesn't know quite sometimes how to deal with death, especially Spock's death. We meet David Carroll Marcus all throughout this movie. Also, we show that maybe some women are far too formidable for Kirk. Gets scared and runs away. A lot happening in this joint, man. I absolutely love and adore Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, man. And that is it for this joint, man. We'll be back in 24 of the hours to keep on talking sci-fi movies. Till then, you all take it easy and have a good one.